Broadcasting live from the True Crime Today studios to the world. This is Murder in the Morning with Tony Bruschi and Stacey Cole.
From the Hit Killers Podcast, Murder in the Morning.
The mother of Elijah Vue, this is the 3-year-old boy we've talked about whose remains were found months after he was reported missing. She's pled not guilty on Wednesday to charges linked to his death in Manitowoc County, Wisconsin. Katrina Baur, 31, appeared over Zoom from the Manitowoc County Jail as her attorney entered the plea on her behalf. Baur is charged with 2 felonies, including chronic neglect of a child resulting in death, along with 2 misdemeanors. Baur remains in custody on a $400,000 bond. During the hearing, the court allowed her a conditional modification to visit her daughter, if approved by Child in Need of Protection and Services, CHIPS, what they called it. Child in Need of Protection and Services. Okay.
You know what that brings to mind as somebody who is a
CHIPS.
bona fide Gen Xer. Yeah. Ponch and John from CHIPS.
It almost makes me wonder if whoever named that in Wisconsin that way didn't do that on purpose.
I hope so. I hope they did.
Where does the H come in?
California Highway Patrol.
No, in Wisconsin. CHIPS.
Oh, in Wisconsin. I'm sorry. I'm fixated on Eric Estrada.
Why is that? There's no H.
Child, maybe?
Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of.
This is really stretching it to make it CHIPS. Somebody is trying to just make this called CHIPS because it would be CNPS is really what it would be. But most states just do the first 4 initials or whatever. The case,
I think you're right.
Some person in Wisconsin. Let's call it CHIPS. The case traces back to February 20th when Elijah was first reported missing by Baur's boyfriend, 39-year-old Jesse Vang. An extensive search was launched throughout Manitowoc County and beyond. After months of uncertainty, human remains were discovered by a deer hunter on September 7th in a wooded area near the quarry at Camp Manitou, roughly 3 miles from the family's home in 2 Rivers. A Wisconsin crime lab confirmed through DNA testing that the remains belonged to Elijah, who had been missing since winter. Sheriff's office later informed his family the county medical examiner ruled the toddler's death a homicide with fractures found on his face, though the exact cause of death remained unspecified. In addition to Baur's charges, Vang faces multiple charges in connection with the case, including physical abuse of a child, hiding a corpse, and obstructing an officer. He's held on $500,000 bond and is expected to appear in court next week. According to court documents, surveillance footage from the night before Elijah disappeared shows Vang discarding a suitcase near St. Vincent de Paul in Manitowoc County. A DNA analysis later linked the suitcase to Elijah. Investigators also recovered deleted Facebook messages between Baur and Vang from February 20th, in which Baur instructed Vang to tell authorities, "Say you guys were taking a nap," and he left. Baur messaged Vang adding, "The way you would things is very important. The way you word things is very important."
Oh, God.
Jesus fucking Christ. Send it through text, why don't you? Oh, you did. You literally did. Because you're a smart
but I
man.
deleted it. It's gone then, right?
God. People are just so stupid. The judge said, well, that's why we don't, it's rare to find a murderer that's like really super fucking bright. It happens, but they're the ones who get away with it for fucking ever.
Right.
According to court documents, surveillance footage from the night before Elijah disappeared. No, we did that. The judge set a deadline of December 20th for any potential resolution offer in Baur's case. She's due back in court in February, while Vang's next court appearance is scheduled for November the 6th.
Well, if you need a little review on the horrific stuff that Jesse Vang did to this child, I'm happy to share that with you. I've got it in front of me. So Vang had been helping care for Elijah on and off for about a month, trying to correct what Vang had called Elijah's, quote, bad behaviors. His mom, Katrina, wanted Vang to teach her son by example how to be a man. Remember, this is a 3-year-old child.
How to be a man at 3.
How to be a man at 3 years old. had spoken to Vang about the limits of what discipline she did not want used. Vang told a detective that Elijah's discipline included standing for 1 to 3 hours while required to pray or say, "I'm sorry, Mommy."
That'll make someone want to go and just embrace religion for the rest of their life.
Right. But a 3-year-old, I'm not going to say how old I am, but if I have to wait in line for like 20 minutes, I'm getting pissed off. I'm, uncomfortable. Can I sit down? I mean, come on. A fidgety 3-year-old, you want them to stand for 1 to 3 hours?
You start doing this shit to a kid, you know what happens? They turn into a psychopath killer, just like Dad.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing Dad was subjected to these sort of things himself. And that's what made Dad who he is, someone who's capable of killing their child. Continue on.
Yeah. Well, Baur was out of town on February 17th. Vang told her he was angry that Elijah had overfilled his diaper and gave him a cold shower. Again, a 3-year-old. They do overfill their fucking diaper.
And you know whose job it is to fucking clean up the diaper? Mom and Dad. And if it's overfilled, you know whose fault that is? Mom and
Yours.
Dad. Yeah.
Yep. The toddler was mostly bottle fed, was not potty trained. The boy was not allowed to play with the one toy that he had at Vang's home from February 12th to the 20th because he was in a timeout. 3 years old. Fuck you people.
Yeah, these are people where it would be like fun to do a community drowning. Hey, guess what we're going to do? We're bringing out the big old dunk tank that we had over at St. Mary's church picnic. But this time we're going to put a roof on it right at the water line. And when you throw the ball, he gets dunked. The cover goes on and you watch him drown. Okay. How much for a ball? $500. Give me 10.
Yeah. Let me tell you this. During Baur's bond hearing, her mother, Elijah's grandmother, wrote a letter to the court opposing a lower bond for her daughter, citing the woman's pattern of erratic behavior, poor judgment, and inability to take responsibility for her actions. Mom said her story always depends on her audience. At this time, rather than aligning in locating her son, because at the time he was missing, she feels the need to reiterate what a good guy Jesse is and is fully defending him and his actions. By aligning with him, she could potentially have access to his extended family and ability to flee the area. Yeah. So this is Mom.
Yeah. She knows her daughter is fucked in the head.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know if this is drugs or something is just the wiring in her head is just not right.
Mm-hmm. Or because of drugs, the wiring in her head is just not right.
Correct.
Yeah, we just don't know. But obviously, these are very unhealthy people. And good for Mom for not being like, oh, my baby, let me be there for you no matter what. Like, fucking A. Like, I found there's no fucking way. Like, there are limits. I know. I mean, I'm a parent. I mean, I know there's parents like, oh, I would always be there no matter. There are fucking limits. Like, you start doing deplorable, horrible, evil shit, like to your own kids and stuff. Like, fuck you. I'm done with you too. Like I couldn't. I don't ever see my person doing something like that. But you know, there's fucking limits.
Yeah. Well, it's also okay to say, you know what? I raised you the best that I could. It's not my fault. You went and did X, Y, and Z, and that turned you evil. Whether that's drugs or you're hanging out with the wrong people, you did the best you could.
Yeah.
At one point, it becomes their responsibility.
Well, and that's what we haven't taught very well at all in the last several generations. Personal responsibility. Nobody can cope with anything. Nobody can take accountability for their actions or the situations that they put themselves into. And everybody loves being a victim. So, yeah. And then you live that life so long, you get this weird reality that we're in right now with all these people that are just not accountable for anything. And it's a world of narcissism.
It's really frightening, isn't it?
They're like zombies. It's, I think frightening is the appropriate word.
Let's be honest. Nothing kills the thrill of a good murder mystery like a commercial for laundry detergent. It's like someone slapping a closed sign on your favorite dive bar. But you're not here for that, are you? You're here for the good stuff. So ditch the ads and upgrade to True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. With True Crime Today Premium Plus, you get your crime straight, no chaser. Commercial free with extended interviews and early access. It's like getting the bartender's special when the bar's already closed. Search for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe and drink it all in.